Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rear view mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? You have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
You are tuned in to Talk Show Kings on TV 1061.
Man, what they gonna do with this black on black crime, man? I'm sick of this. Thank you for watching another edition of Talk Show Kings on TV 1061. We'll be seeing you soon.
Good evening, and thank you so much for tuning into Talk Show Kings, where we discuss current events. I am King LaRon, and to my left,
King Eric, and to my left,
King Jason.
And together we are
Talk Show Kings.
Now, since it's been a couple weeks since I've seen my Kings, of course, I want to do a little check-in with my Kings. How you been doing, King Eric?
Good. Made it through another week.
Great.
I'm good.
Great. And you, King Jason?
Doing all right, man. Just ready to get these stories covered.
Yeah.
Got a lot to catch up to do.
We definitely do. But also, want to give also a big shout out to our productions here and in the great town of Douglasville, TV 1061 Productions, our producer, Felix Washington. And also, if you'd like to donate to this great cause, you can via Cash App at TV 1061. Now, let's go ahead and start off with a very hot, buzzing news. That is the death of Charlie Kirk. Of course, condolences and thoughts and prayers to everyone involved in the family. Now, regardless if you agree or disagree with his viewpoints, he was a very, very big conservative voice out there in politics. Now we're going to go ahead and break down this story. Actually, I'll throw it over to King here if you want to give a breakdown of this killing here of Charlie Kirk.
Well,
First, let's go ahead and show our guests who we're talking about. Can you please show the first clip?
Thanks, King Jason. I appreciate that.
now, here's my take on it. Now, again, my condolences goes out to the family. I don't believe anyone should be shot or killed or anything or any type of harm because of their opinions. I mean, because, look, we all have opinions here. And I don't want to be shot. I'm sure no one here on this show wants to be harmed, physically harmed or anything because of an opinion that they may have. We're going to have different opinions. Now, do we have to agree with what he did or the things that he said? No, I don't have to agree with it. But there's no right to kill him because I don't agree with it. Just because if I don't agree with it, I don't have to listen to it. I don't have to listen to something that I don't agree with. We all have that right to not listen to anything that we don't agree with. Now, he did have a big voice in the conservative community, and they loved him for it. Hey, we have people in our community who we love that they may not love. But does that give them the right to murder them? Does that give them a right to cause harm to them and their family? No. It doesn't justify anything that happened. Anything that he said. He didn't put his hands on anybody. He didn't shoot up anybody. But the only thing that I don't like about this, besides the killing, I don't like how we had politicians who were actually killed and the government, the White House, didn't lower the flag half-staff for them. But he's not a politician, but he lowered the flag half-staff for him. Now, to me, from my understanding, I'm not in the military, but the only time I thought that the flag's supposed to be raised, lowered half-staff is during, like they did it with 9/11, when that happened, when they lose soldiers or presidents or anything of that nature. But it's like, yeah, he was a conservative voice, but he wasn't political. He wasn't a politician. He was nothing of the sort. So that's my only gripe about everything that's going on other than him being killed. I mean, I don't know. What's your thoughts, King Jason?
Well, you're correct. He wasn't a politician, but he worked and breathed and lived as if he was a politician. And there were rumors saying that he was actually kind of preparing himself to run for president. I'm not for sure if it's for the next term or when, but, you know, getting the attention through the public media, social media, and his company, he was looking to build that reputation to where people will gain interest. So if he did choose to run for president, he would get the votes that he wanted. Now, and I agree, you know, he's not an actual elected official. He's not a military veteran. He's not a current president, anything like that. And being treated to, you know, for half flag, you know, is very unnormal. And I myself am not a politician nor a active duty or reserve or retired, you know, veteran. And I don't agree with it, but that's what they chose to do. You know, because also people said that he was seen as a, how they pronounce it, a martyr. So to where he was seen as a big time leader, to where he deserved to be respected with the half flag post. So if that's what they wanted, that's what they got.
I have to agree that is the first time that I've personally heard of that occurring for someone who wasn't officially within the armed forces. But if our producer could move over to clip 2, please, a photo of who they believe to be the assailant and shooter. Let's see where you see that there. Well, so personally, one thing I was going to also just put on note there is that I was in shock that I saw this clip be shown and unedited on Fox News. And I know that, different channels and different FCC regulations, but I personally feel that no people should be able to see that, especially like children. But what are your thoughts?
It really reminds me of 9/11, how it was live on TV when both towers were attacked. I was in high school. I was a senior in high school, and I literally watched the second plane crash into the tower. Even though that's hundreds and thousands of lives that were innocently taken away live on TV. So it's not the first, but for something like this, it's up to the media if they want to show it. They have their, reasons of why they want to show it. Do a lot of people like it? No. I mean, it was already shown on social media. I saw it myself live on TikTok. It shocked me just as much as 9/11 did.
Now, to speak on that, I believe that the media is trying to catch up to social media. The news media is trying to catch up to social media because I don't know, like you said, you was in high school when 9/11 happened. Well, when I was in high school, we had Faces of Death, the video Faces of Death, where, no, they didn't show it, but they didn't show stuff on TV, on the news, but we had to look at that video. We looked at videos, back then it was VHS tapes, Faces of Death, and you saw people dying in gas chambers. They actually showed people hitting monkeys upside the head, killing them so they can eat the brain. So social media is now taking over to where they're showing all of this in real time on social media. So the FCC can't really regulate social media like that because they're allowed to do what they want, basically, to a certain extent. Not all the way, but to a certain extent. And the media, the mainstream media, is really trying to catch up to it. So it's all about who can get the views, who can get the most people on their channel to watch certain things. Now, going back to the killer, the assumed killer, to me, do I think it's him? I don't know. Because if you look at his face, it's different from the face of the guy who they actually saw walking on the camera. I mean, the guy on the camera face is kind of slimmer than the guy who they arrested. His face is a little puffy. Now, I don't know. Maybe did they beat him up before they took him in? They could have. I don't know. But who am I to say that they did or didn't? But it just didn't look like it to me. Your thoughts?
I'll be honest. Same. Exact same. I was also confused. I don't know if y'all could help me out here. But wasn't there like an older gentleman initially that they detained and let him go? What was that about?
There were 2 other suspects that were arrested, but when it turned out that they did not match the identity of what they saw, they ended up letting those 2 suspects go. So now who they have in custody is the current suspect, who's the 22-year-old male that is currently in the county jail. So that, like King Eric was saying, to me, in my opinion, he don't match what actually shows on the picture that we have on the screen. I mean, if you look at it, the facial differences are way much, not matching to me. I understand he's wearing shades, but as I was sharing with some people earlier the week, I said, if you look, his top lip is different, his ears are different, his nose is different. Now, I don't know if the guy had his lips tight to where the top lip maybe had flattened some, but if you look, the one on the 22-year-old, he has his upper lip is a little bit different from the guy on with the black shades and the hat and the black hat on. So to me, in my opinion, I don't know. I really don't think that's the guy, but they got somebody. So now let's hope they will treat this guy as they treat any other criminal by fully investigating this case. If it turns out to be him, he's going to pay the consequences.
Kingston, I think we'll go on this topic. You think any other closing words on that topic? Again, condolences and prayers to the family. As we move on to our next topic, dealing with BlackRock and our housing market. It's been recent news that the investment giant is once again making headlines for buying up single-family homes, and people are asking, is this just business, or is it pricing everyday Americans out of owning their own homes? Producer, if we can go to clip 3, please.
Now,
and King Air, what you got for us?
I believe that they're doing what other businesses, big companies are doing, buying up all the houses, and they are making it hard. They're really making it hard for families to purchase homes, because not only are they buying up all the houses to make profit out of rentals, they're buying them up, and people, everyday Americans like me and you, we're not able to buy those houses.
Very true.
And I'm saying this because right now me and my wife, we're in the process of trying to look for homes, and it's hard. It's literally hard out here trying to buy a house, and the house that you do see that you like, before you even get a chance to purchase it, another company has already bought it up. They done made a cash offer and they've already purchased it. So things like that, it hurts single families that's trying to live the American dream and purchase a home and be a homeowner. So I believe that I'm not saying that companies shouldn't be able to buy homes. I just believe that there should be a limit.
I agree. I definitely agree.
And if you don't, and right now there's no one that's stopping them. Again, regulation. Who's stopping them? I mean, if a person that's an investor can buy homes, as many homes as they can afford, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna stop that investor from buying a home. But I believe that there should be some regulations somewhere, especially with these big corporations that's purchasing homes.
You know, and it reminds me of when it was either the mid 1990s or the early 2000s when people like us were encouraged to invest in real estate and to purchase them, put them up, more fixer-uppers, and put them up for rent to make money off of it. So, and people started doing that. And then since people like us started doing it, big corporate companies like, well, shoot, they can do it. Why not us do the same? But like King Eric said, there's no limit. And that's one thing Congress has not sat down to discuss. Like, should we put a limit on how many homes a person or a business purchase to fix up and to sell or to rent? I doubt that it's been spoke about, but so that gives corporate companies and private investors the treat to just purchase whatever they want, knowing they have way much more money than someone like us who buys a fixer-upper, either sell it or put it for rent, and then it takes years to save up to buy another home to do the same thing. I've known people who actually started a small business in real estate to do that, and it's turned out to be successful, but they're nowhere compared to these $1 million or $1 billion corporate companies.
And I'm going to pose another question. Why don't these companies, these big companies, purchase commercial property like that? Do you know who the number one owner of real estate is?
I'm gonna guess Bill Gates.
No.
Not Elon. Who you got?
McDonald's.
That makes too much sense.
Because every McDonald's that you see, that land that McDonald's is on, McDonald's actually owns that land. You can be a franchisee. You can own a McDonald's franchise, but you'll never own that land. You'll never own that land. And keep in mind, people, all the viewers out there, if you want to call in, you can. The number is on the screen, 770-485-7724. You can call in and join the conversation.
Man, McDonald's.
So let me ask this question. So are you saying that they own the whole entire plaza or just the lot that the McDonald's sit on?
That I couldn't tell you. I know for a fact that they own whatever lot that McDonald's sit on. I can tell you that. I can tell you that.
Okay.
I had one little thought too. In some of the articles I read, we're talking about the American dream. What are y'all thoughts on the American dream of, I guess you can say, the 70s and 80s versus now? What do you think that transition is like?
It's gone.
You say it's gone?
It's gone. It's gone. And the reason I say it's gone is because it is too expensive to meet those attributes of being, that American dream. Like Brother Eric, like King Eric was saying, it's hard for him and his wife to find a house. As soon as they find one that they want, they put in an offer. Next thing you know, it's gone from a cash offer. Homes are too expensive. And not only just homes are too expensive, people's wages does not match what's being sold. And it's not matching. Then you got to think about it. Bank loans, their percentage of interest is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't want to say that the American dream is totally gone. I just want to say that it's harder to reach.
That's fair.
It's harder to reach. With the prices, with even the price gouging on rentals, even in apartment complexes. $2,200 a month.
For a 1-bedroom.
Even as a 3-bedroom, I remember paying for a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom townhouse. I remember paying anywhere from $800 to $1,000 a month.
Did you say 4-bedroom?
For a 4-bedroom townhouse. I remember when my mom's mortgage on her house was $575. That was the mortgage on her home. And that was a 3-bedroom ranch style home sitting on maybe, I want to say a half an acre. $575 when we were growing up in Latonia.
That sound like a car note now. That. Go ahead.
I just thought about it. I mean, even when our parents were growing up as kids, homes at that time used to cost like $20,000, if that.
Back then a $400,000 home now was like $130,000 home back then. Yeah.
Man, oh man.
So now, think about it. Of course things are going to change. Of course. Nobody is expecting things to stay the same. Everything evolves. But sometimes certain things don't have to be as expensive as it is. Because guess what? Even though that price of those houses go up and the price of those apartments go up, people's income stays the same.
Or goes down sometimes.
Exactly. So that's my take on that.
Good takes. All right. Well, producer, we can go on to clip 4 as we move into our third topic here. There's a story that hits on workplace culture and accountability. at Hyundai plant, a disturbing incident has come to light thanks to a whistleblower, a woman who decided to speak up about what was happening inside. Her story is sparking some big questions about corporate responsibility, worker safety, and the power of speaking out. King Eric, you want to?
I'm gonna let King Jason start with this.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, King Jason, start it up.
Man, when I heard about this story, I was appalled, laughing at the same time, and I was shocked. Because never in my life have I would ever believe that someone would rat their own selves out saying, yeah, I'm the person that reported this. Huh? What? So, kind of going backtrack, when I first heard about the story of the Hyundai plant down, I think it's in Savannah, Georgia. I'm not for sure exactly
Near
where.
Savannah, Georgia, yeah.
When I first heard about it, I was like, oh, there goes another little ice situation. Because, they've been on a roll. And breaking one out at a car plant, or not a car plant, but a battery plant, was very shocking. But then when I got more into details about it, and I heard that it was being... it was a contract that was in development to where they were preparing to open this plant, and they was here to train the employees, the American citizens, American workers, to learn how to work in this manufacturing plant. And then when I found out that someone reported that there were so-called illegal immigrants working in this plant, it skyrocketed. You had the sheriff's office there, the local police, the FBI, the ICE, and I think the Department of Homeland Security. All agencies were there arresting whoever. They even said that there was a division between where the officer says, if you're an American citizen, come on this side. If you're not, go on this side. So, and they separated people.
Uh-oh.
All right, we got a caller
first
coming
caller.
in.
Talk Show Kings. Talk Show Kings, you on the air.
All right.
Guess they didn't want to talk.
Back to the story, but as I got more into it, it was very interesting when I found the young lady who reported it. She was proud about it. She was very proud that she reported this, but she didn't realize that this was a $1 billion contract agreement with President Trump.
You say billion?
Yes.
As in with a B.
Billions.
Yeah.
Yes, billions. It was a $1 billion contract agreement that Trump had with South Korea Hyundai Manufacturing Company. And you ratted them out. You got them arrested, kicked out of the U.S. And now you are risking other manufacturers, not just in South Korea, but around the world, that has plants here because you wanted to get the illegal immigrants out. Because you wanted the American people to have a job.
Okay, hold up.
He said King Eric said, hold the phone.
So, people are mad because Trump wants all the illegal immigrants out. And people want the American people want illegal immigrants out. But then it comes back and bites you because it was a contract that you had with another country to bring illegal immigrants in. And now they got ratted out. So now you're mad at this person over here for ratting them out. Make that make sense.
So there was also discussions about the South Koreans who came to the U.S. that they were working on visitor visas and not work visas. That's a difference.
That's a difference.
That's a big difference.
That's a difference.
That's a difference.
So you, even though you're going to be here for a short period of time, you still need the work visa. That's our regulations. I wonder how long that's been going on. Are there any other companies that did the same thing? Were you using a visitor visa when you came here to train American citizens how to use your plant? But the point is that she ratted herself out.
But I get that. But you want them out, but you bring them in. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Look, I have no further questions, Your Honor.
it is just very interesting because how, as King Eric was saying, make it make sense. So it's really, to me, on both sides. If South Korea really did not have or applied for a work visa and you've sent your people here, and then somebody who don't agree for what's going on reports you to Homeland Security, and Homeland Security comes and really busts through everything and says, hey, we're about to come and get you. And they actually did.
I got a quick question. For the individuals who come to our country on work visas, do amendment rights apply to them? Amendment rights, do they apply to them if they're not actual American citizens and they're here
Probably
on visas?
some, but not all. Because you're not a legal U.S. citizen.
Right.
You're here on a work visa. It's just similar to a study visa. Is it called
Work study or student.
A student visa.
Like foreign exchange.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like if we go to another country and work in another country, we have to abide by their rules. We may not be protected under their rights, but we do have to abide by their laws.
Like Brittany Griner.
Exactly. And yeah, there may be a U.S. embassy there, but we're only protected under U.S. embassy soil. But we're not, if we're not in the U.S. inside the U.S. embassy, which is like the United States, then no. So I'm pretty sure it should be. I don't know. It should be the same when a foreigner is on this soil. But I do have another concern about that, because I can understand the reason why. I can understand another broader, a bigger reason why she did what she did, because you got to look at also workplace safety. What if something happened that was unsafe? I mean, yeah, you're there on a visitor visa, but you're not there on a work visa. If something goes on, if something happens, I mean, who's protected? I mean, because the workers, the American workers there, they have to have some type of protection. I mean, that's in all workplaces. There should be some workplace safety involved, and maybe the safety just wasn't there. Maybe that was one of the reasons why she did it as well. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that we don't know why she did what she did, besides that one reason. But because there's a lot of whistleblowers out there, and there's a lot of people who want to bring up certain things that are scared to come out and bring certain things to light because they're scared of losing their job. But I could say that she was brave, even though it may have backfired. She was brave in what she did.
And there were a lot of speculations that South Korea was, on their social media platforms, they were roasting the crap out of her for what she did and how she did it. So, and then, it was kind of funny. Like, I was like, man, I wish I knew how to get access to some of the social media to see what they're saying. But it was just really, I think it was done immaturely. I think she should have did a little bit more further investigating before reporting them to Homeland Security, because now this is going to affect our future as American people, where we trying to get jobs here in America.
Very true. Very true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little break to pay some bills. Again, if you'd like to donate to our lovely cause here and show, you can via Cash App. That's #TV 1061. And once again, if you'd like to call in with questions, comments, you can at 770-485-7724. We'll be right back in a few moments.
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom, Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom Inc., reducing violence, developing youth, saving lives.
Hi,
Today's world.
my name is Lauren and welcome to TV 1061. Join our network and broadcast your film live across the continent. Come to our studio and film and stream your TV show, sitcom, and showcase and broadcast it worldwide. Combine multimedia with your live stream. Independent filmmakers show your movie and afterwards interview your cast live. Sponsors, advertisers, I'm talking to you. This is your chance for global exposure. These are exciting times that we're in. Traditional TV is but a thing of the past. TV 1061 is on the Roku platform. Roku is an industry leader in internet TV. It has a viewership of 53 million and counting. It is the most popular and fastest growing internet TV platform. If you are interested in developing and showcasing your movie or show, or interested in coming in as a sponsor or advertiser, please send us your contact information with a brief description of your interest to 1061tv@gmail.com. Thank you. Hi, my
You're
name
tuned
is...
in to Talk Show Kings on TV 1061.
Man, what they gonna do with this black on black crime, man? I'm sick of this. Thank you for watching another edition of Talk Show Kings on TV 1061. We'll be seeing you soon.
Good evening, and thank you for coming back here at Talk Show Kings. Once again, if you'd like to donate to our lovely cause, you can at Cash App TV 1061. And if you'd like to call in, you can at 770-485-7724. Now, we got some parental topics. We'd like to get into some family topics here. Topic we're going to get into is, so what are our thoughts if there's a stepfather who's marrying someone and they want to adopt the child of the mother and give that child their last name? What are your thoughts on that, King Eric?
So this topic hits home for me because I'm in a blended relationship.
Okay.
But my wife had 3 kids when we met.
Mm-hmm.
When we were married, she had 3 kids. So we did ask the kids if they wanted me to adopt them, because they're my kids. At the end of the day, they're my kids,
Right.
And they said, well, the oldest said they didn't care, but the middle child, he said no, because then his name would be too long. He said his name would be too long, so we just laughed it off, and so we were like, you know what? It's fine. It's no biggie. It's fine for me. But it's just that I don't feel like, from my view, from where I sit as the stepdad / I am the real dad, because I'm there, I feel like if that's a decision that has to be made by the adults, and the kids have to bring the kids on there to see how they feel about it, because it's going to affect them as well, whether their biological father is in the picture or not. It still is going to have an effect on them, because if they're used to having their last name one thing and then all of a sudden it's being transferred over to another name. So yeah, that for me, I don't see a problem with it. Now, there are going to be some fathers out there, some biological fathers out there, that may be upset with it. and they have the right to be upset with it. But if they're not in the picture and they're not doing anything for their child, why are you upset? Now, if the child's father is in the picture and helping out and contributing, then yeah, it should be a conversation between both men and the wife. There should be a conversation in all of that. Because no, if he's doing his job and doing what he's supposed to do, you don't want to step on his toes. Because he's being a man still, even though he's not with the mother of the children, he's still taking care of his responsibility. He's still keeping an open communication with his kids. He's still there for his kids. He's still there collaborating with both of the in-home parents, making sure that there's nothing else needed, making sure that that the kids are doing, contributing. He's doing his part to help the family, while even though he's not in the house, inside the household. Your thoughts, King Jason?
Well, I've never experienced that. Now, I was raised in a single-parent home, and I have two younger brothers. They both have my biological last name because when they were born, my mother still had my father's last name, even though they were divorced. And I remember, when we were teenagers, I asked my middle brother, I said, "Could you imagine your last name being such and such?" And he looked at me and laughed. He said, it sounds weird. It would sound weird if his name was changed to his father's last name, because it just, your full name may not make sense, or it just sounds weird, right? But anyways, I was always kind of curious how people thought about it. I mean, last name, it really identifies who you are as a person and who you represent, and all of that. So I really can't really say much from what King Eric was talking about, but from all of that, I mean, if it's up to the parents, if they decide both equally that to allow the guy, the male, to adopt her kids and to give them his last name, then so shall be it. And like King Eric also says, if the kids don't want to do it, I respect that. I'm not going to force you.
Now, get to the downside of that. For some men don't want to adopt another man's kids. That's just how they feel about it. Now, I'm just throwing a devil's advocate out there. Some men don't want to adopt another man's kid. It's all they feel like it's bad enough. I got to take care of them. That's how they feel. Is it wrong to feel that way? In a certain sense, yes. Because guess what? Those kids still looking up to you. Those kids are still going to consider you a father. Even though you may not be their biological father, they're going to consider you their father because you're the man that stepped in and did what their father was supposed to do. So they're going to look up to you. They're going to look at everything that you do. Whether you may not have no idea what you're doing. You may come into a family with no kid and you don't have any kids. And you don't have no idea what you're doing. Because you never had to, but now you're having to put that hat on, and all you can do is the best that you can. And that's with not just with fathers, that's even with single mothers going into relationships with men who has kids. Same thing. You're stepping in a situation you don't know anything about. But once you step into that situation, you love those kids just like they're your kids because you love the woman or that man when you walked in that relationship. You love them enough to take on that responsibility. You love those kids just like they were your own kids. You take care of those kids just like you would take care of your own kids.
Mm-hmm. I had a question in regards to that adoption. Not sure if y'all know, but say, for instance, that the children are under the age of 18, they're minors, and yet their biological father is paying child support and being an involvement in that child's life. Is that husband able to adopt that child without the biological father's consent? Y'all know?
That I don't know, because again, that's a conversation that I feel like should be left to all three individuals when it's when it's that sort of situation.
I agree.
Like if I come to you and you're taking care of your kids, I'm like, hey, King LaRon, I love your kids. Your kids love me. We appreciate you doing the things that you do. Now, do you mind if I adopt them? Now, I don't know what ramifications would that have as far as you continue to pay child support, but you'll still be able to take care of your kids. We're not taking that away from you. None of that is being taken away from you. None of those rights are being taken away from you. Now, when I go back to the men who, because I've heard a lot of men say that they're not adopting another man's kids because, number one, if they get divorced, they're going to have to pay child support on. Well, sir, it don't matter if they got your last name or not. You get a divorce, you're still going to have to take care of them. You're still going to have to pay child support.
That's a Georgia law.
I kind of wonder about that. That's something very good to do some research on. Is even if someone adopts another man's kids and get his last name, will the biological father still have to legally pay child support? That is a very quick question, because
that's a good question.
You know, in my mind, like I said, I'm not a father, but if you adopted my kid, I ain't gotta worry about paying child support. Yours now, bro. Appreciate it. You know, I'm just saying.
I mean, that's if you look at it, yeah.
Then that makes me seem like a deadbeat dad, like just because I allowed another man to adopt my kids and it's just less responsibilities. But no, those are still my flesh and blood. Yes, I should still be responsible for them.
That's true. No, I was going to try to look it up real fast. The only thing I do know to say to that is that it would vary from state to state. Shameless confession here. I'm on child support myself, and found out that there's very different child support laws in my home state of Florida versus Georgia. So more than likely, the answer to that question would vary from state to state. Go ahead,
King Jason. You talked about last names and what that means and all of that. Do you feel like today, in the society today, that last names mean as much as it did back in the day?
I really can't speak for all fathers, but it really depends. And the reason I say that is my stepfather, he mostly raised me, and I don't have his last name. I still have my biological father's last name. Is my biological father in my life? Yes. Mm-hmm. He became part of my life when I was 15 or 16, but it doesn't make him less of a man. It doesn't make me want to change my last name because of that. No, it really depends. Do I love my stepfather? Yes. Do I love my biological father? Yes. Do I want my stepfather's last name? It never dawned on me. I never thought about it. Does that kind of answer it?
Would you take it if he asked you to?
I don't know. I have no idea. Never thought about it.
I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know either. But what I do know, thanks to Google AI, in Georgia, a biological parent's child support obligation ends upon the finalization of a legal adoption by another party, such as a step-parent or adoptive parent. And the biological parent is then relieved of all parental rights and responsibilities, including financial ones, and must stop payments.
Wow.
So, of course, state of Georgia got to be special. But, yes, I mean, still, that biological father doesn't have to have any responsibilities for his kids anymore. I mean, it's his by blood.
Yeah.
I mean, no disrespect to the brothers out there, other kings out there. I mean, I've heard people say you're nothing but a sperm donor now.
So let me ask you this: What if at that time when you were younger, your parents, your mother and stepdad decided they just went ahead and changed your last name? You're 17. You're 17. You're right there. How would that have made you feel?
I don't know. That probably wouldn't even bother me at all.
What about you?
To be honest, I think the biggest factor would be the name of the entire families. And me, I come from a background in Caribbean where I actually have 2 middle names, where we actually give connections to both sides of the family. So knowing that, I would probably propose to have a double name or a hyphenated name.
Okay.
And I kind of just thought of something too, but listen to what your King Eric was saying. What if the kids don't want the stepfather's name because they don't like him?
That part.
That's another thing. That's another thing. That's why I was saying is the kids need to have an input as well.
I think so too.
The kids need to have an input as well.
Yeah.
Because that's something that needs to be, that would need to be discussed. I mean, that's a whole discussion in itself with the kids.
The kids.
Like, how do you feel about this man adopting you as yours, as your child, as his child, and you have his last name?
I've known families that had that situation where their mother married another guy and the new stepfather wanted to adopt her kids, but half of her kids didn't want to do it because they didn't like him. And they didn't agree of changing their name for whatever sake. They want to keep their blood name. You know, so was it an issue? Oh, it caused a lot of family strife. But they have rights. Those kids have rights. Were they forced to change it? No. They kept their biological last name.
Well, I don't have my biological dad's last name.
You don't?
No. I have my mother's maiden name, last name.
I was gonna ask. I was just gonna ask that question because I had that same scenario with my niece and nephews because I became an uncle at a very young age. I was age 15. My sister's a little bit older than me, so that was the first time I had ever heard of a mother naming their children's name with her last name because the father wasn't involved.
That's very common because I was talking with the old buddy of mine, and even my mother too. I mean, when a child is born, if the father's not there to sign the birth certificate, I think by law the hospital has to give that child their mother's maiden name.
Yeah, but they have so many days to come in and sign that birth certificate.
Correct, yeah.
So, and if they never come sign the birth certificate, that's it.
That's it.
It's a wrap.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of states, I mean, you know, that does that.
Trust me, there's a lot of kids out there whose names are messed up because of that.
Yeah. And, you know, another thing, too, I mean, that causes parents to have a big, huge conflict because the father wasn't there and the father missed the deadline, and yet the father still wants the kids to have his last name, but it's too late.
Yeah.
Well, talking about rights and processes, I've heard that the actual process of legally adopting a child, at least in Georgia, is very, very convoluted and very, very time consuming. What are your guys' thoughts on? You think that the process needs to be?
So my wife and I, we are going through foster care training right now, or foster to adopt care.
Really?
And it's very expensive. So I even know someone who adopted their son, who is my godson. Love him like crazy. When they adopted him, it cost like over $20,000. I was like,
in a lump sum?
Yes. You got to account court fees and lawyer fees and all the other stuff you got to pay for, but it's very expensive.
Look, let me tell you something. If I'd have known that back then, there would be $20,000 to do that. I'd have said, look, they fine with their last name. They fine. I love them, but $20,000 for them to have my last name, it's not that important.
I don't know if it's any different because their son was born and they adopted him at birth. So I don't know if it's any different when it's just changing the name of that type of adoption, I don't know. That's once again state laws is different. So
I mean, I'm sure there's paperwork involved, court fees, lawyer fees. I'm sure all of that is still involved because the process of adoption is a long process anyway. That process is not a short process because even though we may still live in the same household, we may still be rated. They still going to go through all your finances. Yeah. They're still going to go be all up in your business. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure none of that's going to change. So you're still going to have those same processes. Maybe some things may be cut out, but for the most part, some of those processes may still be in place when it comes to that, because they still want to make sure that the kids are emotionally well, and they're not being put in any type of harm. So I'm sure they're going to have visits there to make sure that the house is kept up in order, to make sure that the kids' safety is taken care of.
Speaking of emotional, just curious for you Kings, what do you guys thoughts on the weight that our last names carries? Y'all think it still carries the same amount of weight as it did back in the day versus now, your last name?
I think it does, because your last name is everything. Like my granddad, James Underwood, just that Underwood last name. You go to Tampa, Lakeland, Florida, Underwood, that is a well-known name in that area. Now, not saying that it's not well-known in other areas, but I only know of Lakeland and the Tampa area, because that's where most of the Underwoods in my family are in. Mm-hmm. Now, we're scattered all over the place, but the majority of them come from that Lakeland area.
And I think to answer also on your question, I think it's more heavy on the men, because the men is who continues to carry that last name over to the next generation.
That is factual.
So being adopted or not, that last name is going to carry on. Now, what doesn't carry on if you do change your last name are the family traits. That's still in your DNA. So your DNA is still to the father that helped bring you to this world. You still have his genetics and genes inside of you, but your last name may be different. So you got to think about that as well. You're representing two families.
And another thing, if you don't think that the last name carries any type of weight today, look at the Kraft family. Look at the Hines family. You can even look at Thomas family, Dave Thomas, Wendy's.
Same with the Disney family too.
Walt Disney.
Yep. I gotta do a crazy
Walmart.
Crazy story about Disney. I gotta y'all aren't gonna believe this. I was working on a site, and one of the IT managers was in the military. He said that while he was in basic training, one of the individuals had the last name Disney, and everybody was just joking with him, like, it's just random, you know. That gentleman was a confidant of the person I was working with, and actually did tell him he is a direct grand descendant of the Walt Disney, and did not want any parts of that family organization, and rebelled and went into the military.
But yeah, last names still hit hard today. So I don't know if you remember watching the movie Troy. You ever seen the movie Troy?
Brad Pitt?
Oh yeah.
Orlando Bloom?
Oh yeah.
Come on now.
What did he say? That's why no one will remember your name.
Talk to him.
Great point.
That's why no one will remember your name.
Yes. That's why I love Gladiator is one of my favorite too.
Yeah.
And it's because in those generals and emperor eras, those names really, like, if you think about King James.
Exactly.
You know. I agree. Yeah. I definitely agree. There was one more question I did have too. Oh yeah, that was what it was. Outside of names providing unity between the family, what are some other thoughts and ideas you have that can give a sense of unity to a family outside of their last name?
I mean, that can look different for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It because when you have family nights, what are some traditions that unity can be traditions that they have, even with the family reunions. Traditions that you build inside the household with that family that you may have adopted or whatever with the kids. I mean, what have you done to leave that legacy within that family? So all of that, the unity can look different. It can look different in many different ways. So that's real. You could go deep in that aspect of it.
King Jason, your thoughts?
I agree what King Eric was talking about. It really depends.
I wanted to piggyback on that because you said a word that I wanted to ask about too is family reunions. Me and my friends from college were having a conversation, and I'm curious, in y'all's opinion, have y'all seen a decline of family reunions over like the last 10 to 15 years?
My family's like that now. Yes. There is a decline, and in my opinion, I think it's the younger generations don't want to take on that responsibility.
That's it. He just hit it right there. He just hit it because I was getting ready to say yes. Now, because you don't have the same people that were leading those family reunions, they don't have that same mindset on how sticking together. Just like when Big Mama died, how many Sunday dinners do you have? Everybody used to go to Big Mama house, go to Grandmama house.
Everybody.
Sunday dinner is known. Now what's Sunday dinner now? McDonald's. Let's go up here to the pizza spot. Go to eat. Go to Corral.
Yeah, Golden Corral. Shout out to the Corral.
Go to Corral. Go to a buffet just to eat, where they used to cook. Women in the family were cooking on Sundays. Everybody would come to that house and have dinner and just sit and talk and laugh, watch TV, play games,
Spades.
Cousins running around everywhere.
Dominoes.
Man.
Phones.
Since I'm the oldest here, back in my time, we would be outside playing football until it's time to.
The street lights come on?
Until it's time to go in and eat.
Okay.
Then they'll yell in the house, get in here and wash your hands so you can eat.
Come and smell like outside.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, man, this has been a great show. Any lasting thoughts? Lasting closing thoughts from you Kings? Jason, you good? King Aaron, you good?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. We had a nice show, a good show today.
I agree.
We had a good show.
As always, it's a pleasure, Kings. Always. And also a pleasure to you out there, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again for tuning in to our lovely talk show Kings. Of course, shameless plug again. If you'd like to donate to this lovely cause and show, it's Cash App, $TV 1061. And of course, thank you to the great town of Douglasville for hosting our amazing show. Peace, blessings, and take care.
Talk to you later.
Tune in to Talk Show Kings on TV 1061.
Man, what they gonna do with this black on black crime, man? I'm sick of this. Thank you for watching another edition of Talk Show Kings on TV 1061. We'll be seeing you soon.